Hi, welcome to Tech with Nick. I'm your host, Niklas. In today's video, we're going to have a look at how you can stop ads from entering your network by using Pi-hole and use a powerful DNS feature so you don't have to remember any IPs anymore and you can use local host names. Sounds cool? Let's get started. So what exactly is Pi-hole? Well, in simple terms, it's a network-wide ad block. So instead of using a normal Chromium plugin to block your ads, Pi-hole blocks them from entering your network. This gives you the ability to block ads even on smart TVs, which normally cannot use ad blockers. Sounds complicated? Well, it's not. And in this video, I'll demonstrate how you can do it yourself by using Docker and a Raspberry Pi. So let's get started. First of all, if you're using a Raspberry Pi, you need to install the Raspberry Pi OS, and I'll show you just how to do that. If you're not using a Raspberry Pi, you can skip this step. To install the Raspberry Pi OS, I recommend downloading Raspberry Pi Imager. It's super simple and the link is in the description. And as I'm using a Mac, I'll be downloading it for Mac, but it's the same process for Windows. As soon as you're done downloading, you'll need to install it, or in my case, drag it to the application folder. With the Raspberry Pi Imager started, we're ready to get going. So first, you'll have to choose your OS. I like to use the Raspberry Pi OS Lite, just because I don't need the desktop. If you need the desktop, install that version. Then you need to choose your storage, and right before you press write, click the ski icon, set hostname. If you got multiple Raspberry Pis, this makes sure you can see them apart on your network. Now check the box for enable SSH. I'll just use the password authentication and give this a password. Alright, if you're using wireless, configure it right here by checking this box and choosing the SSID and the password. After that, just put the local settings in and hit save and write. As soon as you hit write, you might have to enter your admin password, so I'll just do that right here. I'll be right back when this has finished. So while we wait for this, don't forget to hit the like, subscribe and bell notification down below so you don't miss out on any of the technical guides I got planned for the future. Alright, it's finished. As soon as this is done, you can just hit continue here. And now all you have to do is take your SD card and plop it into your Raspberry Pi. Connect your Ethernet cable, or if you're using wireless, and connect a power cable. And we should be ready to go in a few minutes. As soon as your Raspberry Pi boots up, you're ready to connect to it. But before we do that, we need to find the IP address of it. So if you're using Mac, open up a terminal window, and if you're using Windows, open up a command prompt. When you're in the terminal window, just type ARP-A and you'll get a list of all your IP addresses connected to the network. Here's my list, and as you can see, my local Raspberry Pi has connected to this IP address. You'll need to save this IP for using the SSH. So I'll just copy and paste it here, type SSH, then my username, I set in the settings, and @ and the IP address. It will ask for the fingerprint, you'll just type yes, and then you'll type your password for the Raspberry Pi. And that's it. Now we're in the Raspberry Pi. So before we can go any further, we need to update the system. And to do this, you'll type sudo apt update. Alright, there you go, update, a double ampersand, and then sudo apt upgrade. That's why. This updates the package repository and updates all the packages. Just hit enter. And I'll get back to you once it's done.
A few moments later.
Alright, my Raspberry Pi finished upgrading. The next step is to install Docker. And we're going to use the Docker Compose. So what you do, type sudo apt install docker-compose. And this will ask you to install it, type Y and hit enter. With Docker Compose installed, we're ready to get going. All you gotta do now is clone down the Git repository I linked in the description. This contains a Docker Compose file ready to install Pi-hole and npm. And when this is done cloning, all you gotta do is go into the Pi-hole folder. In here there's a couple of files. What you need to do is edit the Docker Compose file. So we'll do that using nano. Hit tab to autocomplete the file name, hit enter, The port number here is normally used port 80, but because we're running Proxy Manager at the same time, we needed to update this, so I made it port 8080. You can do whatever you like, or just keep it as is. In the web password field where it just says secure password, you need to add your own secure password, and this is for the web admin interface for the Pi-hole. So with that done, hit Ctrl X, hit Y and enter to save it if you made any edits. If you didn't, it's ready to run, and we're ready to run Docker Compose. You're gonna run sudo docker-compose up-d. Hit enter, and this will start up the containers containing both Pi-hole and the Proxy Manager. With Docker Compose done, you just install Pi-hole and Nginx Proxy Manager. So the next step is to go to the Pi-hole admin interface. You do this by opening up a browser, going to the IP address of the Raspberry Pi and the port 8080-admin. This will log you into the admin interface. Here you will type in your password. In my case, it's secure password. So if you didn't change it, this is it. From here you got a couple of options. So I'm just gonna walk you through it real quick what this is and how you can use it. So inside this ad lists is where you can upload all your ad lists. There's a link in the description for a good resource for ad lists, so you can block all the ads that you don't want to see. But it's not just ads, you can block for privacy and for malicious sites too. So check the link in the description for a good resource on this. What we're interested in today is the local DNS. So if you go in here, you hit the DNS records, you'll see it's currently empty. So let's say I had another app running like Home Assistant, and I would like to be able to get to Home Assistant with this domain instead of the IP address, and it was running on the same server. I would do it like this, then hit the add. If I got multiple services, I'll just add the same, and this could be multiple services on the same server. I'll just say I got the Nginx server running and I would like to connect to that with the same .home. Well, I'll just input the same IP address again and hit add. So what you're going to do, open up a new tab, go to the Raspberry Pi IP again, this time port 81, and this is the Proxy Manager. So I'll link to the guide from Nginx Proxy Manager. It's admin.example and the password is change me. This will log you in and ask you to update your credentials immediately. So what you're going to do is in this host section, click on proxy hosts and add proxy host. And this is where the Proxy Manager is going to help. Because if you take a look at the Pi-hole here, you got two domains. You want to hit the Home Assistant, and you want to hit Nginx. What we're going to do is again type in the domain we expect. So this is for the Home Assistant. Runs on the same server. And Home Assistant uses port 8123. Alright, and then you just hit save. Do the same thing for the Nginx home. So another proxy host, nginx.home. Type in the IP, set in some random port. But the idea is, with this setup, should be able to go to the Home Assistant.home and the Nginx.home. But before you can do this, you need to set the Pi-hole as your DNS server on your router. There's tons of videos showing how you change the DNS server on your router, so I'll link to one of those. But once that's done, you're ready to use Pi-hole to block ads on your whole network and use the DNS service so you don't have to remember all those long IP addresses anymore. I hope this video helped you, and if it did, please like and subscribe.